lighting here is not good.
Hi there. Welcome to the Majestic Talk Show. I'm your host, Latasha Morgan, certified Christian life coach, certified professional life coach, board certified master Christian mental health coach, and a whole lot of other goodish, y'all. I've had an amazing day, and I pray that you have had an amazing day as well. I also pray that every day to come is even greater and more amazing than the one before. This is season 5, episode 7 of the Majestic Talk Show. Today, our topic is economic anxiety, the lasting impact of slavery on financial insecurity. We're going to explore the lasting impact of economic deprivation and harsh living conditions during slavery on the mental health of African Americans today. We have as our guest Miss Tiffany Harvey. She is an author and motivational speaker. Tell everyone hello, Tiffany, and welcome to
Hello,
the show.
everyone. How everyone's doing?
We're doing amazing over here. Tell everyone a little bit about yourself. What's going on in your life, about your business and everything. Go ahead.
Yes, so I am the owner of Tiffany West Associates. Our business is all about empowering women. I speak on topics on regards to, empowering women, how to overcome any storm in your life, how to be successful when no one in the room looks like you. But also, we have a flagship business called Becoming a Young CEO. And that's where we are educating and teaching our young people to break these generational curse on financial literacy, but also how to start an online business. So, we're all about empowering our youth, but also empowering our women at the same time.
Oh my goodness. Well, go ahead, girl. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so good to see you again. It's been almost a year since you've been on the show. So I
Yes.
really do appreciate you coming back. So normally now this is not a counseling session, but I like for the show to have the same structure as one. So what I want to do, we're going to start off with how did we get here? Where did the economic deprivation come from? Why did it have an effect on us? We're gonna talk about where we are now, and then how can we heal
Mm,
from it all,
okay.
okay? So
Okay.
let's get started with the first part. How do we get here? So, the first segment is the history behind the struggle. To understand financial insecurity today, we have to start with history. During slavery, African American men, women, and children were the backbone of America's economy. By 1860, nearly 60% of America's exports came from cotton picked by enslaved hands. Yet those same hands were never paid. Imagine doing something you don't get paid. Child, I'd be mad doing something I don't get paid for. Not that kind of work. Now there are
Right.
some things, yeah, you can just get by without paying, getting paid for it. That's because you want to give charity. But I don't think the black people wanted to be a charity case. So they didn't want to just give their labor away. Okay, so but after emancipation, there was a moment of hope with General Sherman's promise of 40 acres and a mule. I've never seen it. But President Andrew Johnson reversed that promise, leaving most freed people with nothing. Many were forced into sharecropping, which often trapped them in cycles of debt. And that's so true, which means
Mhm.
we have a whole generational gap of wealth. One of the most powerful stories comes from Jordan Anderson, a man formerly enslaved in Tennessee. In 1865, after being asked to return to his former master, Jordan wrote, I served you faithfully for 32 years. We have concluded to test your sincerity by asking you to send us our wages for the time we served you at $25 a month for me and $2 a week for my wife, amounted to $11,680, which was a lot at that time.
Mhm.
He said, if you fail to pay us for faithful labors in the past, we can have little faith in promises in the future. Of course, he never received those wages. He never got that money. Of course not, because that was a lot of money back then. It shows how generations of wealth was stolen before they could ever be built. Even when Black communities built prosperity, they were met with violence, like Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921. Black Wall Street. Over 600 Black-owned businesses were burned down by a white mob. Survivors recall they set fire to the homes. They set fire to the churches. They killed men in the street. They burned my father's store to ashes, and we had nothing left but the clothes we wore. That wasn't an isolated case. Rosewood, Florida, 1923. Wilmington, North Carolina, 1898. Each time Black prosperity was attacked and generational wealth was stolen. So when we talk about economic anxiety, it's rooted in centuries of deprivation, violence, and broken promises. So, Tiffany, understanding and hearing what I just said, what we just read, tell me, when you hear about those accounts of stolen wages and destroyed communities, how do you see the shaping of the financial mindset of Black families today?
I see that we're still struggling. To be honest, we are still struggling because we don't teach and speak of financial literacy, freedom, wealth today. That's not something I grew up with, and I don't think most people I know growing up, that conversation, was a daily topic in the household. And it's still not to this day. And I'm experiencing that firsthand going into the school system, talking to kids. And then when I talk to their parents, they also admit that, they don't teach it in the household. So it's hard to now break a generational curse if no one understands how to break it. So it's almost as, what can we do now to almost go back in time? Because we knew it, because again, you had Black Wall Street. We were a threat back then, why they had to burn our towns and our city and our businesses down. We can do it again, but it start with our mentality shift. It really starts with a mentality shift, and it starts at home, but it also starts at us as a people. We need to stop attacking each other and figure out how to come together as a group of people to be successful together. So it starts in the home, but in our culture. We have to change our minds as today, not tomorrow, in order to really break that generational curse. If not, it's going to continue to go on, and we're going to continue to live in the past or blame everybody in the past or why we're not getting ahead.
And I think that's what people are tired of. People blaming somebody else when we can do something different. It's no excuse for, and the reason we're in this place is because of what happened then.
Correct.
But we have to make a decision and a choice to do something different. We can always make excuses. We don't take excuses when people say, well, somebody molested me, so that's why I did to somebody else. Or if somebody stole from me, that's why I did to someone else. That's true. But at the end of the day, we all have to make a decision and a choice to do something different.
Correct. And it's too much information out here online at our fingertips to not be smarter and make better decisions. I don't want to hear anyone say, well, I don't have enough money to do this, or, this person went to college, so they was able to do this. All that now is, to me, that's an excuse. There's too many people who is making money or understanding, the financial system to better help them and their family and their kids and their grandkids, by going on YouTube or Facebook or ordering a book off Amazon. There's too much information out there now to be able to use excuses. And that's the first part where we have to break, is stop using excuses, stop hiding behind what happened. We're not saying what happened didn't happen, but let's learn from it. And let's model what they did, because if they did it back then with less resources, why can't we do it now and better with more resources?
Now, I sometimes use this excuse that I don't have, because even though I have my business, I don't have with so many things. Now, not saying it's the truth. So, maybe there are some, we won't get ahead of ourselves, and you can say some different things later, what we can do when people do make those excuses. What resources can we use? Like, give us an example of those things later on when we get to the last session, because I was about to go there and just realized I need to hold myself back. Okay, so you pretty much answered what your perspective is on how history created a culture of survival and anxiety around money in our communities. I also think that people have anxiety because of what we just said, what happened when people were doing. The thing is, it's not like African American people did not do before. After slavery, they did a lot. They got money together and purchased land, asked for land, and they used that land, and these major cities were formed. And they were so rich that white people had to come and borrow from them.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think one of the reasons we don't do that now is just because of when we did do it, look what happened to it. No, I'm saying that's the way some people think.
Yes,
I don't want to do this again because I don't want people dying again. I don't think that because I was listening to Phil Donahue, one of those old shows that he had with Reverend Minister Farrakhan on there. And he made the comment. He said that, so we want this, because Minister Farrakhan was talking about how, and it was like in 1999 or something like that, how that we should get our own area, our own state, and black people live there. Then he made the statement, then if we do that, then we'll start having a problem again where people hold their hands, and then we have that story where people start these fights and killing people just like they did in Tulsa and all those other different places. So I think anxiety and stuff is built around that as well, because you don't want to build a lot, because if so, then you may have the same problems.
That's true. Yeah, I can definitely sense that. I think I would say that is probably some people's mindset. Yes, that is probably still there. But I do think some other people's mindsets, I think they just continue to use an excuse of why they don't want to be successful or can't be successful or don't want to work hard or don't want to go that extra mile to learn something new. I remember my apostle in one Bible study, he said, never say you are too old to learn. Never say I know this, because really once you say that, you are cutting off everything that person is about to teach you. You like mentally have cut something off what they're about to teach you, because you just came in with the mentality, well, I already know this. So I think a lot of Black people sometimes use that excuse, well, I already know this, you can't teach me nothing new, I'm too old to do something different. These excuses of why not to try to be successful today. What they did back then may not work for today, but today is a new season. It's a new time. There's more than one way to be successful and have wealth. If you want to know, if you truly want to know, it may be easier now than it was back then. You don't really have to leave your house. You don't want to.
That's true though. That's true.
Right.
That's true.
So nobody needs to know if you got wealth or not. You could be wealthy and living in a shack.
Yeah. That's true. Wealthy and have like they used to do back in the day, have money all under your mattress.
Have money under your mattress. Exactly. You ain't gotta, and that's a whole other topic. Oh, well, I don't trust the government. I don't trust the big banks. I get it. But guess what? There are Black banks out there you can do business with. You know, ain't
That's
nobody
true
said you
too.
gotta go to a federal whatever reserve bank, you know, managed by a white person. Okay, then go find a local owned black bank. There's plenty of them out here. You know, so I think we just sometimes we hide behind excuses of why black people can't be successful and wealthy. You know, we all sometimes want more. Everybody wants more, but how do we get there?
And it's good to learn because you know I love to learn. I mean, I love to learn.
Me
I mean,
too.
I'll be starting a new certification soon, but see, I love to learn, and because I
Correct.
love adding behind my name, and because of
Hmm.
coaching, you have to continuously learn anyway.
Yes.
But I love to learn. I don't even like looking at TV shows unless it's something that I can get from it.
Not even some of your little ratchet shows now.
I don't watch that.
I know I don't either. I'm just teasing.
So normally I watch like document, and that's another thing. We spend a lot. There's nothing wrong with that, but we spend a lot of time watching those things when we can actually be putting our minds to doing things that's going to bring us knowledge and wealth. Because knowledge turns into power, and we don't. And a lot of times too, we don't know our history. That's
No,
that's
that
the
is
purpose
true.
of
That is
doing the shows. We don't know our history, and when you don't know something, it's subject to repeat itself.
repeated. Correct. No, that is 100% true. We don't take the time to learn our history. They're not. No one is going to teach it to us. You
Mm-hmm.
know, just like they don't teach financial literacy and wealth in school. You know,
Yeah.
it's a but some like you said, we have to know the history of the why you're not
Mm-hmm.
being taught because they don't want you to learn it because you may get ahead of them. Go
Mm-hmm.
back to slavery. They didn't want the slaves to learn how to write and read, you know, because they know they will get smart. You know, they will, figure out what's going on if they could read and write. Same thing in the day. There's a reason why certain things are not being educated in our school system today. There's a certain reason why there is certain degrees or programs that is not offered to everyone. So if you
Mm-hmm.
don't take the time to figure it out yourself, you can't expect someone just to give it to you. They didn't give it to us in the 1800s, 1900s. Guess what? They had to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you
Mm-hmm.
have to figure it out today. It's a choice. Do you want to figure it out? Yes or no?
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's so true. So let's go to the second segment.
All right.
How it affects us today. Let's go and let's look at a few statistics, okay? So let's fast forward to today, and the numbers tell the story. The median wealth of white families is almost 8 times higher than that of black families. Black households hold just 2.6% of the nation's wealth, despite being nearly 14% of the population. Nearly 19% of black households live below the poverty line compared to 8% of white households. Black students graduate with the highest student loan debt, which delays home ownerships, savings, and financial security. And these numbers translate into lived experiences. I want to give you some stories, but before we do, what do you think about those statistics?
True, 100% true. I think it's. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's true. It's reality of we want to go to college, but we can't afford it. We don't have the money. We didn't have grow up with our moms and dads saving money, so we had to take out a student loan.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's held over our head for the next 10, 20 years, depending on what degree you got. Question is,
Mm-hmm.
did you even get a degree? And
Mm-hmm.
now you're paying back a student loan. Then it was this, oh, you got to have a house. It's the American dream. But no one
Mm-hmm.
tells you how long you're going to be paying on that house. No one tells you all the other bills, insurances, and HOA fees that come with that house. So when do you be free of all these bills and be able to
Mm-hmm.
live and enjoy your money? Let me say it. When do your money make money for you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When?
That's
If
true.
you always tied down or paying someone else back.
And that's really all we do with the money that comes in is always going out to somebody else. My money always going out to some bill that has to be paid.
Right. And it's like, once I learned that's the concept, your money need to make money for you to truly be wealthy. I was like, oh, it's not 6 figures. It's not 7 figures. It's not the high, whatever the number is. It's like, no. If your money is not making money for you, then you are not wealthy. Look, like everyone else who went to school, we are striving for a number that we are making, but looking at it wrong. Okay, that's fine. You can make that, but now how do you take that money you're making and allow that money to make money for you, to where when you truly retire, when you truly start working, your money is still making money. That's how you know you're wealthy. And I think and that concept is not taught to everyone either, because while we are looking at the things that society has put on us to say that you are now have made it, a degree, a car, a house, something. Those are all things, but I'm paying those things back. So yeah.
So here are 2 stories. Okay. One young woman in Atlanta graduated college as the first in her family, only to be burdened with $85,000 in debt, student loan debt. She shared, I thought graduating meant I'd finally be free, but now every paycheck feels like I'm working for debt collectors. The weight of debt left her battling anxiety and depression. Another story comes from a single mother in Chicago juggling 2 jobs. One night she told her kids, I don't know if the lights will stay on next month, but I promise you'll never go hungry. That's economic anxiety, living with constant fear of collapse. Even when you're doing everything right, you got a job. And that's the thing. A lot of people talking about, well, black folks get on job. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people. Tiffany, you do not laugh.
I try not to. Okay.
There are a lot of people, though, that say that we aren't getting jobs. Maybe we should do something to help ourselves. But I just told you, this woman here, this young woman went to college. College costs money. Everybody don't have full bank accounts. Our parents can't pay for them to go to college. Everybody can't do that. Everybody's parents didn't have the education to get their job, but she's the first one in her family to go to college. And then she's burdened with $85,000 in student debt, loan debt. I understand because I have some too. But it was worth it to me. And I guess to me, it was worth it because I graduated with something I knew that was a part of my purpose. That's the difference. If it's something that's a part of your purpose, that's going to push you through your purpose, it's something you need to understand and know how to operate in purpose. My business came from my education. So not just my education, but relationships between my dad and God too. But I had to get the education to do what God called me to do. So it's worth. I felt like the debt was worth it, but it's a burden on people because it's a lot of money to pay back for something that we say is the American dream. And the mother in Chicago, the single mother, she's juggling 2 jobs. And so she's doing everything right, but still behind. You would think having 2 jobs would be a lot better than having 1. But she's still struggling. So in your work, how do you see financial insecurity showing up in the daily lives and mental health of families today?
I think everything you said with those stories are 100% true. I think everybody wants a better life for themselves, for their kids, but it's hard because economic things, things are higher. You know, you got things are going up every day. No matter how much you try to get ahead, it just seems like you can't get ahead because it's always seems like it's one storm after another storm after another storm. And all of these storms are related and hitting your pocket in your bank account. So how do you get ahead when every time you turn around, jobs are shutting down. They're getting moved overseas. The gas is going up. Food prices going up. Daycare going up. You know, college tuition going up. Insurance is going up. Everything is always continuing to increase. So you always living in this world of a panic, anxiety, like you said, because like, how do I get ahead if they keep moving the needle on me? You know, where's the finish line if you all keep moving it? What else do I have to do? You know, you said 6 figures was the American dream, the middle class. That ain't it no more. You know, you said if I went to college and I become a doctor, lawyer, then I made it. That's not it no more. You know, if I get 2 jobs, that's it. That's not it. No. What is it? And I think that is a part of the bigger problem is when and how do we know we are free? What does that look like today in this society? Do you have to live in a cheaper state? Do you have to leave where you're from and go somewhere where you don't know to be able to now live that I'm free, I'm wealthy lifestyle? I don't have to worry about anything. What does that really truly look like for the 1% of America? I don't know. Do we all have a different perspective? You know, I'm pretty sure we do. You know, but depending on who you ask, I don't think anybody wants to struggle or think about a financial burden every day you wake up, because it is there. Even though the Bible tells us not to worry, let's be honest, we're human. We are going to worry. Even though God said he will provide, and I trust me, I know he will provide for me and for everyone else. But guess what? When I have a child to feed and a roof to keep over his head, as a parent, I'm going to worry. That's human nature. I'm not going to dwell in that place, but I will worry.
Yeah, because I worry too, honey, sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't even have children, but I worry about how this is going to happen, when it's going to get done. And, God, you said this and then you said that, but I don't see it. But
Right. We all have been there when we question God. We have all been there. If anybody say you haven't, you lie. You lie. That's not true. Yeah, but I mean, we have to remain faithful? Yes, but I have a son. I went through, you know, the last 5 years of my life, you know, has been the most difficult time, you know, because when they say, your grandma say, baby, be careful who you lay with, it could cost you everything. Yeah. Be careful who you marry. It could cost you everything. 100%. I know what a man feels like in divorce court. I know for every man out there. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Because I know what your pain is like now. But that has taken so much of a financial toll on me where I thought I was here. And I done had to come down to here and start over. And I know I can do it with the degree I got, with the education I got, with my work background I got. But to not tell me at 44 that I have to start over, yeah, because I got a son to raise. And I'm going to do it. And I know the plan to get there, because why? For me, I've listened in the school. Yes, I have a finance background, so maybe it's easier for me, a little easier, but I've listened to the talk shows and the books and everything. I know how to budget and everything, but not everybody understands that. When you don't understand that, it's harder for people to get out that hole, or to really get to the other side. Like, okay, this is how I'm going to get here. This is how I'm going to make it. Everybody don't have that background. Everybody don't have that knowledge, which is a big problem, because that anxiety is real.
Yeah. And it causes other problems, because as long as you are worrying about something, you're not focusing on the small things that are taking place. The small things will work its way to bigger things if you start appreciating what's has been done, the small things that have been done. Maybe you don't have $20,000, but you got enough to get you a meal.
Amen.
You got enough to have your lights on. You might not have a big house in a car. And I think that's another thing. I think that a lot of us, because our ancestors weren't able to have, I think it makes us want bigger and greater things now. Because you know how your parents used to say, I'm going to give you everything that I couldn't get. Some
Give you.
parents, whatever I couldn't get, I'm going to give you, because I wasn't able to have it when I was a child. And what happens is this: we try to get all these big things, and all it does is causes us more worry, more pain, because we're getting something that we can't really afford.
Well, that's because sometimes we are praying for things, not realize the cause and effect to what you're asking for. Okay, so you're asking for $300,000 job, but now what the effect that you lonely because you don't work 20 hours a day to get it. You know, now you done killed your health, your family, your friends, because they ain't nobody to see you. Now you got what you wanted. You got that 300,000 job, but at what cost? And I think that's the problem with us and how we think is that, yes, we want the nice things. We want what our parents didn't have, or the parents want the kids to have over there, but at what cost? And I know I've learned some of my lessons in that, like, okay, if I get married this and I have this and I go down this road, again, what cost? Because I pay a big financial cost, a major financial cost. So I've learned some lessons going forward that what I won't do again, that I will put in place and be, smarter. But at what cost when we're asking to be wealthy or financially free? What is that cost? Because some things come with a cost, and we don't always look at the negative piece of things.
Yeah, we don't look at the pros and the cons. We just jump right in.
Correct. Yeah. Because if you think back, I'm pretty sure when Oklahoma, they bought land, they built businesses, they was just as wealthy. They say I'm pretty sure we could just be just as wealthy as them, we're gonna be okay. No, because the cost, now you put a target on your back, which you already had one just for the color of your skin. Now you got a bigger target because now they thinking, oh, you better than us. So everything has a cost, unfortunately, and sometimes we don't think about the pros and cons.
We all rush to be famous. We all rush to get the big things, like you said, but not knowing the cost. We don't really pay attention to the cost, because it's about getting from where we are right now. Correct. Not understanding that. Now, see, when I do things, I look at things down the road. What is going to happen? Is this going to cost me too much here?
Right.
And is it worth the cost?
Correct.
Even if God telling me to do something, is it going to be worth because how this going to happen? What is this going to do? Because I don't want to be paying too much of a cost. But that's the thing, though. If you want something to take place, you have to pay the cost.
Yeah.
Because there are ways you can do a $300,000 a year job and still not pay the cost of losing relationships. You have to have a balance with that.
Correct.
So you have a balance with greater things, because when God blesses you with stuff, all the horror and the worry does not come with that. What is the scripture? God adds wealth without I can't think of that scripture right now. God adds but I'll figure it out later. God adds wealth without sorrow.
Oh, yes.
That's what it is. He adds wealth without sorrow. And the reason we're getting the sorrow with the wealth, because it's not God giving it to us. We're hopping in and going and getting ourselves and jumping into things without permission. That's why God says, trust him in all thy ways.
Yep. Lean on him. If you lean on him, he'll guide your path. It's never going to be in confusion in what he's doing. Most people today, like, if I'm not busy, I'm not making money. If I'm not busy, I'm missing money. No, God, that's that's the ways of the devil, and that's how he wants you to think.
Mm-hmm.
God is not going to make you busy where you can't enjoy what he's giving you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not,
Yeah.
you know. So, you know, it's just a matter of not getting ahead of him. And I learned that don't get ahead of God, because just because you got it don't mean he can't take it away.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter if he gave it to you or not, don't mean you gonna keep it. So
Yeah.
as we are, you know, everyone is pursuing wealth, financial freedom, you know, you have to think about the pros and the cons that come with that. You have to look at your life as a whole and not in this little small piece. Like, if I could just get this piece, my life would be so much better, but at what cost?
Mm-hmm. So let's go into pathways to healing, segment number 3. So this topic is really heavy, but it's not really heavy though. It's just a nice little conversation.
Okay.
But healing is possible. We can break cycles financially, emotionally, and spiritually, because we're binding ourselves spiritually too. With still, I think that we're still holding on to the past and not healing from it. So we're binding ourselves and putting ourselves in a box spiritually as well. Because everything we do is affects every area of our lives,
Correct.
spiritually, physically, emotionally, physically as well. So we have to make sure we are mindful of that. We talked about trusting God in all our ways, and He'll direct our path. We talked about making sure that we're not just stuck where we were, but we're actually taking the necessary precautions, understanding the pros and the cons, where we want to get to. What cost is it going to be?
Mm-hmm.
And not staying so rooted and grounded in the fact that if I get to a certain place, like you said, there's a target on my back. We have to understand that God gives wealth without sorrow. So
Mm-hmm.
if it's God doing it, you don't need to worry about the target,
That's right. That's
because
right.
He'll be your rear guard.
Correct. He will cover you. He will protect you. Put the shield around you.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. You will be fine.
So, some of the pathways to healing includes financial education, learn about credit, budgeting, and investing, generational conversations, breaking the silence about money in our families. Now, we don't do a lot of that. We don't get education about credit, budgeting, and investing.
Mm-hmm.
How do you invest? What do you invest in? What So that we don't lose a lot of money. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are afraid to invest because of you may lose, but that's what a risk is. I don't like risk.
Mm-hmm.
I like to make sure that I know that this is going to happen, and it's going to be safe. But I think that's another problem. We want to be safe.
Correct. 100%. You'll hear a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not going to go play in that stock market. I'm not going to invest my money. That's just like gambling. I'm just giving my money away." But you'll go right over there and buy those Beyonce tickets for $500. You'll go buy those brand new Jordans when they come out for $700. But you could have took that money and invested it and just left it
Mm-hmm.
there for the next 10 years and watch your money grow. You you
Mm-hmm.
you rather give it to someone else versus almost betting on yourself. And the market, if you know the market, what goes up must come down. You know, leave it there. Let it earn interest. I'd rather make $5 off of it than give it away to 3 hours at a concert. I can't
Yeah,
get
because
my money back.
yeah, and yeah, you're right. And you're investing in her. She gonna use it, him or whoever. They're gonna use it for themselves and invest themselves. So why
Exactly.
aren't you doing it?
And
And
I'm not saying, yeah, huh?
the tickets cost $500. I mean, that's a lot of money. Okay.
Honey, they cost more than that. Depending on what location you're in and what your seating is. That's 500 is probably nosebleeds for some places.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a
I
good
I don't pay
investment
that.
in something.
I don't. Yeah, I don't pay that. I don't pay that. I got a nice limit. I stay within, and ain't nowhere up there for no concert
Mm.
ever, ever.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been in a concert in years. But anyway, I don't go to those kind anyway. But anyway, um I go to gospel and stuff like that. Yeah, I've never been to any other kind. But you're right. I think that would be good if we invest in that, because that's not an investment. Of course, you're investing in good shoes and they're gonna last long, but is it giving you any money back?
Is it getting you any money back? Where you take that
Yeah.
500, put in a high interest savings account that's getting 4-5% every month. Wouldn't you rather take $1, $2, $3 every month for the next 12 months or the next 20 years versus a pair of shoes? I'm not saying don't buy nice shoes, but have a limit. Have a limit based off what you are bringing in. Not trying to tell anybody not to live good, not to buy nice things. I live good. I party hard. When it's time for me to vacation, I work hard. But when it's time for me to vacation, I'm vacation. I'm in Bali. I'm in Japan. I'm in, somewhere around. My son, he vacations well. To be 7 years old, he know. Mommy, this is where we stand. This is not a nice room.
So yeah, I like my nephew.
But I also invest, and that was my goal this year, 2025, to get back in investing and really not just invest based off what other people are saying, but to learn it, to really learn what it takes. Can I take $100 and flip it into $500? Can I take that $500, after I pulled out my money that I put in, can I flip that to $1,000? I am actually seeing that because I have taken the time to now learn and invest in myself and invest and learn. Like, okay, I see what everybody been saying. Yes, I did it long-term investment years ago. I always been about long-term, never really been about short-term. I said, you know what? I want to learn short-term. I really want to learn what the short-term, what is this option trading? What is this day trading? What is this? I learned can't do day trading. My job too busy. Day trading got to be on the computer too much for me. But option trading, let's see what that's all about. Learning it. But a lot of people don't want to take the time to learn something new because that fear mentality, and fear will hold you back if you let it. It will hold you back from making money, building wealth, learning something new, seeing new places, talking to new people, walking through new doors. All that right there, that fear will hold you back if it let it. And that's what's really, truly, in my opinion, is holding us back, a lot of Black people back, of being successful and wealthy.
That's true. Fear, real. Yeah, fear has torment. Yeah, and it does cause you to be bound. And that's right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree.
Yeah, look at Lot's wife. She had that fear of leaving.
Yeah,
looking back, and look what happened to her.
She was a pillar of salt, honey.
Right there.
Yeah, she could no longer function as a human being, and that's what fear will cause you to do. No longer function in the place in which God has called you to function
Exactly.
in. We love to talk about God all the time, but are we actually doing what God has given us to do?
And are you being obedient in His word when He tells you to move?
Yeah, I don't be obedient all the time.
No, I ain't going to sit up here and look. Anybody watching this, don't think I be obedient all the time. Look, I have to repent and ask for forgiveness every day that I wake up. One, because I wake up in a sinful world.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest.
That's true. That's true. Yeah,
when you wake up, when you wake up in a world that's all sin is all around you, don't expect me to be perfect every day, because I don't hold myself to be perfect every day. So I'm gonna just wake up and ask for forgiveness the moment I open my eyes. Like, Lord, please just forgive me. I'm probably gonna say something today, so please, Lord, forgive me. I'm gonna try not to, but please forgive me right now, because the world we living in, and by the time I walk out my door, what's gonna happen? I may turn the radio on and hear something bad, like, God darn it. Now what done? It's just, you just don't know, because the world we live in, you don't know what's going to be thrown at you every day.
And I think this is the best opportunity that we have because Black people always strive in hard times. You know, they always get ahead in hard times. And this is the opportunity we have right now because of what's going on. The best times to jump into your own businesses. Just like during COVID, that's what Black people were doing, right? Because this is not in this segment. But anyway, there during COVID, I was at this function. And a lot of different businesses were there, like women businesses and stuff. And there was this one woman, she was doing these candy apples. And what she was doing with them was so, oh, they were so beautiful and amazing. And you know what she said? She's never made a candy apple in her life. But because of COVID and because of the fact that she was out for her job and stuff, she had to do something to make money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in a few months, I mean, just in no time at all, she has these most amazing looking candy apples. She made them with liquor and all that stuff. Now I don't do that, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't eat it, but they were so. Oh my God, I was just so amazed, and I'm
Yes.
like, seriously?
But that is something, what you're saying right now is what, when I walk into Meade Middle School tomorrow and to talk about the program to get the kids signed up, it's amazing that I'm now about to tell them, hey, you know you can start your own business. You want to know how? Everybody heard of Toombi, whatever the little site is with the cheap stuff. I'm about to go in there tomorrow and get them three things that they can start their own business tomorrow. I'm holding a vendor fair on November the 15th for free for kids to sign up. And I know kids can be like, well, I ain't got no business. I don't know how to get started. I'm really about to go and say, y'all go on Tubi. I'm going to give y'all three things y'all going to get on Tubi and get under $20. Ask your parent if they will invest $20 in you. And one of them is pens. You could get these cute little pens, put them together. It come in a cute little bag that say thank you on it. And you can get 100 of them for $15. Under $20. And you go sell them for that $2. I know. I done brought my son one of these pens and paid about $5 for them. That's one thing. Keychains, same thing. You could do it-yourself pens, do-it-yourself keychains on Tubi. Get a whole set for about $50 to $75. Put them together, go sell them about $2, $3, $4. Good, under $20. Socks, Tubi. You get your whole 5, 10 pair colorful, nice friend, kitty color cartoon socks for about $20. Go out there and sell them for $5 a pair. These are just little things. Stickers. These adhesive stickers that you see on shoes and clothes and hats. Go sell them. Buy them. All this is under $20. You have your business right there. Yeah. You have your business right there. That's the same thing that what that lady just did. So she didn't know what she was doing. But guess what? It's too much at our resources right now for people to say, I can't start a business. And for me, tomorrow, when I walk in there to each grade, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, I'm not only going to give them an idea, I'm going to have a little small competition where I'm going to give somebody a gift card, $25 to help them if they truly want to be at the vendor fair. You know what? I'm investing in you. I want to see how you want to use it, though.
That's good, though. That's really good because that's starting generational wealth right there.
Correct.
I mean, yeah, because once they do that, they can't get on TikTok, but they can get on YouTube. They can get on all these social media sites and stuff where you can actually put your stuff on there and sell that stuff there.
Exactly. And then they make it creative and like, oh, how can I make it better? You can take something now. How do you make it better? And that's something I train my kids is, you could take something now. How do you put your spin on it? How do you put your swag on it? To make it better, but you have to start somewhere.
And that's exactly what our ancestors did. They made things better. They didn't have a refrigerator back then, so they couldn't put stuff in a refrigerator. What did they do? They made one.
Exactly.
They didn't like the way they had to do the cotton then, so they made the cotton gin.
Yeah. She ain't like our hair nice and thick and rough, so she made a perm.
Exactly. So if we want to carry on I think those are things that we should bring back into the now instead of being afraid to use that, because they were making good money back then. I mean, Madam C.J. Walker. I mean, people were just coming. That gave people.
Thank you, madam.
And if we want to actually make generational wealth and start changing the wealth gap, actually what we do can create jobs for other people. Because think about all the jobs that Madam C.J. Walker created. Not only that, because her stuff is still in the store. They have the stuff back in the store.
They do? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
They have some name Madam C.J. Walker stuff. Yeah.
Look, I just cut and put the chemicals back on my hair 2 months ago. So I didn't know that. I've been without chemicals for 15 years up until about 2 months ago. So I didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw it online. Yeah, they have that. And then think about even the alarm systems we use today. Mm-hmm. We're still using it, and it's around across all kind of nations and countries and stuff.
Correct.
And somebody black decided that black lady said, I'm afraid to be here by myself when my husband go to work. Yep. So I'm gonna make an alarm system with the little TV and all that. And we don't know that. We think somebody else made it. Somebody said, well, people die quick and when they get hurt, something goes on with their heart. So I'm gonna perform the first heart surgery.
Right.
And here we are. People are living today.
And that's just all as people, us black people. Hey, you know what? I see what they're doing, but I don't like that. Or you know what? Let's make it better. How can we do this? And we took a step, a leap of faith, and we either studied it, we researched it, we figured it out, and we did it. It's all about doing it. And that's something I'm trying to tell the kids. Don't look at your age. Don't look at your age and say, I don't have a talent. I don't know what to do. My son is 7. He saw me making drinks at 4 and 5. And guess what? He now make his own drinks. He saw me making my little glasses with my stickers and custom. Guess what? He makes his own glasses now. So I have him bending, make his own money. But that's just it. You plant that seed, and sometimes that's all it is planting that seed or putting somebody in environment or somebody recognizing the problem and seeing a need to fill that gap.
Yeah. That is so good. So another pathway to healing is community wealth building, supporting Black-owned businesses and saving circles. Therapy and coaching addressing the mental health side of financial stress. Faith and purpose, remembering our identity is rooted in God, not in money.
Yes.
And there are stories of hope, because there are a lot of different stories of hope, because I'm going to tell y'all one, okay? I'm going to tell you 2, all right? So in Detroit, a group of women started a community savings circle. Each month, they pool their money, and one person gets a lump sum to pay off debt or invest. They call it their freedom fund. One member said, for the first time in my life, I don't feel alone in my financial journey. Oh, that is great. Somebody pull their money. You know what? That is a good idea. You pull your resources together for one person so that they can get by. And then guess what? They going to reach down and help you and pull you up. That's what we need to do, because they did that back in the day too. Our ancestors did that as well. So in North Carolina, a couple took a financial literacy course at church. There you go, church. There you go. They started budgeting in 5 years, paid off $42,000 of debt. The husband shared, we didn't just change our bank account, we changed our children's future. These stories remind us economic anxiety doesn't have to define us. We can write a new legacy. Tiffany, what will your legacy be?
Ooh, My legacy, honestly, if I had to say today, it would be just planting the seeds in the young generation, and hopefully those seeds harvest, one day, to where they now could turn around and plant a seed in the next generation and keep that going. Hopefully that is my legacy.
And that's the best testimony you can have. That even after you gone, your purpose is still operating and working and still ministering and changing lives. Yeah, that's amazing. And I said that because I said that a lot on Purpose Wednesday. That our responsibility is to make sure that our purpose transcends time and generations.
Yes.
Because what you plant today can grow and manifest into a harvest tomorrow.
Amen.
So we just have to start doing it now. Tiffany, to that person out there today that needs a little bit of encouragement, would you give to someone listening tonight who feels trapped in financial insecurity? Can you give them a little encouragement?
The encouragement thing I would say is hold on. Hold on while you're going through that financial struggle, that financial storm. Don't let go, but look for ways maybe that you were not taught to how to get out of it. And it doesn't matter if you have to go back to school, get on YouTube, or just ask for help. I assure you there is a way to get out that struggle and not be overwhelmed by the bills that's coming in, by the debt that's coming in. I know I am there. I have been there. But the one thing I did not do, I didn't let that worry kill me. I didn't dwell in that place. I turned to my faith to God, but while He's working out, keywords, I'm not waiting on Him. While He's working it out, I'm also doing what He instilled in me, and I'm working at the things that I can work on at the same time. So if I could say anything, work at it while God is working on it, and you will get through that financial struggle, and you will come out now building generational wealth for you and your kids and their kids.
So what are some strategies they can use?
Look for things you can do if you want to be at home and you have a laptop. What are those work from home jobs? The best one that I'm teaching and I'm doing right now, and I'm learning it now so I can now teach other young people 18 and older, online notary. Depending on what state you're in, less than $500 to be an online notary. $25 a signing. You could do it all night with the different platforms. Investing. There are quite a few people on YouTube that I follow. When I'm learning. I'm following them, and it's free, and they are credible, and they will now tell you and show you how to read the stock market. You don't need $1,000. You have $10. Go in and buy penny stocks. Go in and buy one stock. Let that stock turn. Once it start making 10, your 10 go to 20, your 20, pull back your 10. Now you get your $10 back, flip that other 20 or 30. Keep it in. Keep going. It doesn't take a lot of money to now start earning money. That's another way. I would say if you have a skill, tutor it. Kids need help all the time, and you could do that online. You don't have to be in front of a kid. You don't have to do certain. If you are really good at math, or you are really good with kids and you can help them read better, or math, this new math is hard, y'all. Tutoring is a great way to make money. There are so many skills and gifts that you're blessed with. You just got to figure out what your gift is. And if you figure out what your gift is and tap into that, you will be successful.
That's good, girl. Oh my Honey, that's good information. And I didn't know that about the online notary thing. I'm a notary here in South Carolina anyway, because I have to be for my job.
Mm-hmm.
But so I
So
need to get
if
in
you're
there.
online notary right now in South Carolina, you can now be, if you if you're an in-person notary, because you have to be an in-person notary. That's why I said about $500. We know in-person notary, depending on what state and what insurance or bonds you might have, it may cost less than what $200 to, by the time you do the online test and everything. But now you go pay them probably, I'm going to say maybe like another $150, $200. You now get your online notary. And your state may already have those platforms, certified platforms, where they have already vetted and let you know, hey, here are certified platforms that you can sign up for. And you don't have to leave your house. So if you one of those people don't like to sleep at night and you up at 4 o'clock in the morning, log on to the platform and start making some money. To do online notary, it literally takes about less than 10 minutes per signing. How many can you get through in an hour? 60 minutes if it's 10 minutes per signing. So if it's $25 a signing, and say maybe the platform you're working on take $10, that's still $15 for 10 minutes. If you do not sit 7 minutes an hour, and you work 3 hours a day, that's good extra money that you're sitting behind your desk waiting for somebody to pop into your cube. Like, ding, okay, I got somebody.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So I'm doing that, want to learn, now continue to add to my platform, not just focus on the 17 and under, the high school, the middle school, and elementary, but how can we set our 18-year-olds up, the ones that are going to college, the ones that's really trying to focus on their education, but they don't have the time to go waitress. They don't have time to go work, in these stores all night, doing all type of thing, or Uber driving. That's not safe all the time. So let's teach them, okay, you got save $500 so you could now get your notary in person and online at the same time.
Well, people, you've heard it here first. Honey, get on up and let's get to work. Let's heal and let's move forward. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for being here. I want you to tell everyone how they can get in touch with you.
So you could get in touch with me, on social media. You can find me at Tiffany Harvey on Facebook. You can find me at Becoming a Young CEO on Facebook and Instagram. Speak with Tiffany on Facebook and Instagram. You can go to my website, www.becomingayyoungceo.com or TiffanyWestAssociates.com. Hopefully you all follow me. Share my post about becoming a young CEO. We're doing amazing things. We have this amazing free kid fair on November 15th in Hanover, Maryland. Not on top of that, we are not only sponsoring the kid fair, but we are sponsoring a young youth writing competition to give our young writers a platform to speak. And we have some amazing judges. So please follow me and share my posts.
Girl, you doing the thing. I mean, you doing it. So tonight we've uncovered how the economic deprivation of slavery still impacts African Americans today, from unpaid labor to broken promises to the destruction of thriving Black communities. This history created generational economic anxiety that still lingers, but we also heard stories of hope, families, and communities breaking cycles, reclaiming stability, and rewriting their financial futures. A huge thank you to my wonderful, beautiful guest, Tiffany Harvey, for sharing your wisdom tonight. And thank you to all my great listeners out there, whether you'll be listening to the replay or you're listening now. However you're listening, thank you for joining us for the Majestic Talk Show Season 5, Episode 7. Remember, we are not defined by financial struggle. We are defined by resilience, faith, and the power to heal. Until next time, next month, I'm your host, Latasha Morgan, certified Christian life coach, certified professional life coach, board certified master Christian mental health coach, and a whole lot of other goodies. Thank you so much again for watching it, and I'll see you again, talk to you again next week. Good night.